Hey YouTube, and Fernape Nation here. So right now I'm gonna play in Pokemon Showdown to show you how the Mega Venusaur team that I built in my last video is able to show you how it's a good team in order to beat many teams in the OU tier. So let's start. And please subscribe and like and comment down below and please give any more suggestions on Pokemon you would like to see. So okay, let's see. I feel as if he's going to start with his Gliscor. I'm gonna start with my Mega Venusaur to see if I can sleep powder any of his Pokemon. So let's start. Okay, so unfortunately he chose Weavile, which he can make ice type moves and make it super effective against my Venusaur, so I'm gonna switch out. Even if I Mega Evolve, it's gonna have the ability Thick Fat, but it's still gonna deal some damage. So let's see. I'm gonna stay in to see how the ability Thick Fat works. So I'm gonna stay in and I'm gonna see if I can Sleep Powder his Weavile. So let's see. Okay, so wow. Okay, so you can see I Mega Evolved and he used Ice Punch, which didn't do as much damage as it would have if I had not Mega Evolved, but unfortunately it was frozen. So I am going to switch out into a Azumarill because it's a fairy type and it can deal damage by using Play Rough into Weavile. So let's switch. And since he used another Ice Punch, Azumarill resists it because it's a water type. And I feel that he right now is going to switch because it's the move that I'm going to use, Play Rough, is super effective against Weavile. So it's possible that he switches out to Gardevoir or Florges. Or possibly even Ampharos. So I'm gonna stay in and I'm gonna use Play Rough just in case he decides to stay in, which I highly doubt because it's going to be super effective against Weaviles, but let's see. Okay, so he used Poison Jab as you can see, and I missed my Play Rough. Wow, this is not a good way to show you guys how this team is going to be able to defeat many teams, but it's just bad luck, but this is how Pokemon is. But unfortunately, Azumarill is not at good HP, so I'm gonna switch out to Mandibuzz. Let's see. Wow, Weavile is causing some harm to this team. I'm gonna switch to Mandibuzz because it's my defensive wall, so it can handle the damage that Weavile is gonna deal. So let's switch out to Mandibuzz. Okay, so the opponent unfortunately forfeited the battle, so that means we won. So let's go back and let's find another battle. Okay. So let's start. So this team has 3 Pokemon that are weak to ground type moves, which are Tyranitar, Arcanine, and Dedenne. So I'm gonna start out with my Venusaur as well, just like I started out last game because I always like to start with something that can deal a lot of harm to the opposing team. So I'm gonna start with Venusaur because I'm gonna try to sleep powder any Pokemon of his, which is always nice. And unfortunately, he chooses Beedrill, which is not a good Pokemon to use. Which is a good Pokemon to use against Venusaur. So right here, I'm going to switch out to Mandibuzz because it can tank any of its hits. So here we go. Then Mega evolved and used Protect. Okay, so well, pretty much that was a free switch in. So let's try and go with Foul Play to deal some type of damage to the Beedrill because its Beedrill has the adaptability, which deals a lot of damage. So let's go out. Let's stay in with Mandibuzz and let's do Foul Play to see how much damage it deals. Even if it resists, even if Beedrill resists Foul Play, it still deals damage because of the attack that it has. So it's still going to deal some damage here. Let's go with Foul Play. Okay, so it did a U-turn, but it caused Mandibuzz was able to deal some damage because of the Rocky Helmet that Mandibuzz is holding, so that's good. So it goes with Garchomp. So as you can see, Garchomp, is a... What happened? Okay, so Garchomp used its red card, and unfortunately, Infernape came out. So I'm going to switch out because Infernape is not a good opponent against Garchomp because even though close combat will deal a lot of damage to Garchomp and possibly defeat it, Garchomp normally is faster than Infernape, so I'm gonna switch out. I'm gonna switch out to Azumarill. Okay, so he switched out into, so we have two water types. So I'm not gonna use a water type move against a water type. So I'm gonna choose Play Rough because it's gonna deal a lot of damage to Wartortle. So, but I feel as if it's holding something, the Eviolite, which is a good choice for Wartortle because it's not fully evolved, but since Azumarill has huge power, it's still going to deal quite a lot of damage to Wartortle, so let's go with Play Rough. And he withdrew again. And Play Rough, as you can see, with the ability Huge Power, it deals a lot of damage. So he switches out to Beedrill. And Beedrill is a poison type, so that's not a good choice against Azumarill because it will surely beat it. So let's switch out to Mandibuzz again. Okay, so it used Poison Jab. Right here, if Beedrill uses another Poison Jab, Mandibuzz most likely will be able to survive that hit, but not two more. So right here I'm going to Roost because I think he is going for a U-turn. So I'm going to Roost here in order to gain Mandibuzz's HP back. So let's see if he switches out. Wow, okay. So Mandibuzz wasn't able to handle the attack. So right here, now comes Tyranitar. So I am going to put... Tyranitar is a very interesting Pokemon because there's a lot of variants for Tyranitar. Some people use it as a special defense wall. Some people use it as a normal defense wall. Some people use it as a physical attacker, and some people use it as a special attacker, and some people also even use it as a mixed attacker. So I'm not quite sure what this will be, but I feel as if it's going to be some type of defensive wall, either special defense or defense, but with a sandstorm, it's gonna be able to handle more special defense attacks. So right here, okay, so player 2 disconnected, and I guess we won the battle, so yes. So let's go out into another battle. Let's see if I can show you that this team is good. So, wow, this is a very well balanced OU team. This is going to be a hard battle, but we can win. Okay, so right here I'm going to start with, I feel as if he's going to start with his Mammothorn in order to be able to try to set up the Stealth Rocks. But that's not a problem because I have Mandibuzz in order to defog. So let me start out with, try to start out with my Azumarill. As you can see, his Mammothorn came out, and he is going to set up the Stealth Rock, so I'm going to get a free switch. I'm going to get a free attack or switch or anything that I choose. So, let's go with Waterfall, because it'll do a good damage to Mammothorn. And he switches out into Clefable. And Clefable will surely want to set up by boosting its special defense and defense. So I'm going to continue attacking so that it isn't able to become a wall that it's going to make it difficult for me to be able to defeat it. So I'm going to continue with another Waterfall. If he decides to switch, that's okay, because it's still going to deal some damage. So let's stay in and choose Waterfall. And he did a Thunder Wave, so unfortunately now Azumarill is paralyzed, but that's not a problem because it has plenty of HP and can surely continue to win. So I'm gonna stay in here and try to continue with the Waterfall attacks in order to try to defeat the Clefable. And right here it chose to do Moon Blast, but it doesn't do a lot of damage because Azumarill is a fairy type also. And we were able to defeat Clefable, which is very good because Clefable is a very tanky Pokemon. So his next Pokemon is Superior. So I'm gonna switch out and go to, I'm going to go out to my Venusaur because it's a grass and poison type, which is a perfect counter for Superior. So let's go out to my Venusaur. And as you can see, Leaf Storm normally would do a lot of damage, but since Venusaur resisted by 4 times, it doesn't do anything. So I'm gonna Mega Evolve now. I feel as if he is going to switch out because I can easily defeat it by using Sludge Bomb, but I'm gonna stay in. But I won't go for a Sludge Bomb because he is going to switch out. So instead of Sludge Bomb, I'm gonna choose Sleep Powder in order to try to make one of his Pokemon fall asleep. So let's see what happens. Hopefully he... Okay, so he went for the Heatran. and now Heatran is asleep. So now I am going to go into my Tyrantrum and set up with Dragon Dance because he's asleep. He continues to be asleep, so I'm gonna set up with Dragon Dance, and if he decides to do any attacks like steel type moves, it's okay because I'm holding the Focus Sash. So let's go with Dragon Dance. I feel as if he's going to switch out, but it's okay. So I'll get a free Dragon Dance. So let's see. Okay, so he continues to be asleep. Okay, right here I have the option of going for another Dragon Dance or attacking the Heatran. I'm gonna go for another Dragon Dance in order to ensure my victory. So here, and he continues asleep, so we're in a very good position here. So right here I'm gonna go for the Earthquake because if it's not holding anything that can hold the attack, such as a Focus Sash, Heatran will be defeated unless he switches out. So as you can see, of course it will be defeated. So let's see which Pokemon he chooses next. Let's see. Okay, so right here he chooses Mamoswine, which is a good choice against Tyrantrum. Okay, so let's see. Let's see whether or not I should switch out or attack Mamoswine. Let's see. I'm gonna stay in and go for a head smash. Hopefully it won't miss and you guys can see how much damage head smash does. And it won't deal any damage to me because of the ability Rockhead. So let's see, hopefully it doesn't miss. And as you can see, it does a lot of damage. And we're in a very good position here. So let's continue. So now he chose Latias. I have two options here, guys. I can either head smash and risk it not being able to attack because of the accuracy, 80%, or I can Dragon Claw, which will surely beat it. So I'm gonna go, and there's another forfeit. So as you can see, the power of Tyrantrum is very prominent. Not many people use it in the OU tier, but as you can see, it's very helpful. So let's go out to another battle, and maybe we can do a complete battle this time. But as you can see, you're starting to notice my playing style, so that's good. And this is a rain team, so that's gonna be difficult to beat. So let's see what I can start with. Let's see. I feel as if he's gonna start with anything that can bring the water. So I'm going to start out the battle with, let's see. I'm going to start out the battle with Azumarill because it's a water type, so it's okay for now. So, okay, so if I decide for a water type move, it'll be boosted because of Politoed's ability Drizzle, which brings rain. But it won't do that much damage because they're both water type Pokemon. So I'm gonna stay in here But there's a slight chance that he switches out to Ferrothorn, so I can stay in and go for a play rough, or I have two choices. I can stay in for the play rough or the superpower. I feel that he's gonna switch out, so I'm gonna stay in and go for the superpower in order to try to defeat Ferrothorn, because Ferrothorn is very difficult to defeat. So I'm gonna stay in and see how it goes. Okay, so he puts me to sleep. Okay. So I'm gonna stay in and try another superpower to see. Okay, so it did a lot of damage. It wasn't the Pokemon that I was expecting to see, but it did a lot of damage. So I'm gonna stay in here and go for the Aqua Jet to try to defeat it. It didn't do that much damage, and the Giga Drain was not a good choice I didn't make a good choice by staying in here. So Ludicolo, because of its ability, I'm sure it has Swift Swim, so it's very fast right now. So let's see. We're in a tight spot right now. Let's see. I'm gonna try to set up with Tyrantrum, so I'm gonna stay. Actually, I'm gonna let Azumarill be defeated. So, since Ludicolo is faster, why not with Aqua Jet to cause some harm? So I'm gonna let it become defeated. And I'm gonna go out to Tyrantrum in order to Dragon Dance and set up. So right here I am going to Dragon Dance. Okay. So there's a chance that Tyrantrum is faster than Ludicolo now because of the Dragon Dance boosting its speed. So I'm gonna risk the chance and hope that it is faster. And here I'm gonna go for the Head Smash to try to defeat it. So let's see. Hopefully Tyrantrum is faster. Unfortunately, it wasn't faster. So we're in a very tight spot here. Rain teams are very difficult to beat because they become very fast. So let's go out to Venusaur, and I'm gonna Mega Evolve. And I'm going to put Sludge Bomb to try to defeat Ludicolo because it's a grass type. But I feel as if he is going to switch out. Okay, so Thick Fat is good here, but unfortunately Venusaur got frozen again. So this battle has been bad luck for us. I'm gonna stay in and go for another Sludge Bomb. Okay, so thank goodness Ludicolo is defeated, because Ludicolo and with the rain is very hard to beat. So Politoed is going to try to Hypnosis me. There's a slight chance that I'm faster than Politoed, so I'm gonna stay in and go for Sleep Powder to see which Pokemon ends up going to sleep, either Politoed or my Venusaur. So let's see, the battle of the sleepiness. Let's see. Okay, so I won this one finally. So now Politoed is asleep. I feel as if he is going to switch out into his Ferrothorn. But just in case, I'm going to stay in and go for the Giga Drain here. Okay, so he switches out to good draw. So I'm gonna stay and go for the sleep powder to try to get a good stance here. Wow, I was not expecting the fire blast, but okay, so I forgot that it's a sap sipper. Okay, so let's see. That's a misplay by me. So let me go out to Cresselia. Let me go out to Cresselia one more time. Unfortunately, it used this. Mandibuzz and Goodra have the same amount of speed, so there's gonna be a speed tie possibly here. But I'm gonna go for the foul play because Goodra now has 2 times the attack, so foul play will deal a lot of damage. So let's stay in and risk it, because if you don't make any risks, you will never win. So let's stay in and see. So foul play did a lot of damage, and now it's Giant Tail. So we're in a good position here. We're getting our stance back. So let's try to keep it that way. So right here, I'm going to Sludge Bomb it. So let's see how it works. And we defeated Goodra. So we're 2 for 2 here. So now we see Politoed again. It's asleep, so I'm gonna try to use Synthesis and regain some HP. I feel as if he is going to go for Ferrothorn here, so I'll get free HP here. So let's see. So here comes the Ferrothorn. And Ferrothorn is another Pokemon that is very problematic here. So I'm gonna switch out to Mandibuzz, and so I'm gonna switch to Mandibuzz, and we're clearly gonna play the stall game here. So here we go. So he sets up the Stealth Rock, and here I'm going to go. If I go for the foul play, I'm gonna lose a lot of damage, a lot of HP because of the Iron Barbs, and most likely he has the Rocky Helmet. So that is what I'm going to do for now. So let's see what happens. Hopefully it does some damage, because Ferrothorn is a very tanky Pokemon. If this doesn't work, I'm gonna be thinking whether or not I should switch to Infernape. Let's see what happens. Okay, as you can see, Foul Play did nothing. So I'm going to switch into Infernape to try to defeat it. Yeah, I'm gonna switch to Infernape, so here we go. And he goes for the Gyro Ball. So I'm gonna go for the... I won't go for the Flare Blitz, even though it can be Ferrothorn, because I feel as if it's going to switch. And Flare Blitz will do recoil damage to Infernape, and as you can see, the Infernape is at 55% HP right now, so I'm gonna go for the Close Combat because it's also super effective. So I'm gonna go for the Close Combat here, so let's see what happens. And as you can see, it switched. As you can see, it dealt a lot of damage, so right here, I'm going to go for a Thunder Punch here to try to defeat Politoed. So let's see. Okay, so he goes for the Swampert. It was a good play by him. So right here, Swampert is going to be his Mega Evolution Pokemon. So let's switch out because it's going to become very fast because of its ability. I think is Swift Swim. So I am going to switch out into Mandibuzz because it's going to gain a lot of attack, as you can see. Okay, so right here, Swampert is very fast now. So I'm going to go into Venusaur to see if it can do some damage. I'm gonna try to... I can either Giga Drain or Sleep Powder here, but I feel as if he is going to switch into his Ferrothorn, but just in case, I'm gonna try to Sleep Powder it. Okay, and yes, it's immune. Okay, I'm gonna stay in and go for the Giga Drain here. Okay, unfortunately Venusaur was defeated, so I'm gonna go into Cresselia now. Okay, this battle was very hard, but as you can see, we tried. Okay, most likely we're gonna lose this battle, but we tried our best, which is what matters. So right here, I'm gonna go for the... I am going to go for Psychic to deal some sort of damage to Swampert, which didn't do that much. So I'm gonna try to Moonlight right now. So let's see what happens. Okay, yeah. So we lost this battle, but it's okay. So let's go on to our mascot. And let's go out with a bang with a Mach Punch to deal some damage to Swampert. So we dealt some damage to Swampert. And that's it for the Mega Venusaur battles. So thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe and comment down below to see, and I'll try to get back to you guys in order for me to be able to see what Pokemon you want to see me create teams for. And thank you for your support, and Infernate Nation out.